Welcome back to Daun, round 3 of the 2022-2023 EOS season. We're in Daun, Germany for the four-wheel drive section of the meeting. And this is the second from top heat, not the top, the second from top heat in qualifying round number 2. Some seriously big names in this run. Lee Martin, Alexander Landon, Hooper Honekel, Max Gottzel, Martin Bayer, Ben Smith, to name a few. And I believe it's Lee Martin away first, so we will stick with him.
10, 6, 4, 9, and 3. We got our marshals out there. All right, we are ready to roll. Race 45. Car number 1, 2.
Lee eager to get away.
7.
If you've watched some of our other videos, you'll have noticed that I've moved position. It was suggested that maybe letting the cars come down the straight under me might be a bit quicker, and I think it might be. So Lee is away, and he has the bit between the teeth. We're so used to seeing Lee running a Yakimo. I still have to remind myself that this is, in fact, a Schumacher. And could I be so rude to suggest that Lee looks really quick with this Schumacher? He was always competitive at the front with the Yakimo, of course. But this looks like a new Lee Martin. Lee Martin 2.0. Because that is fast. Now I should be able to take a look at the board and tell you that Lee leads this ahead of Alexander Landon. A touch off the barrier for Lee, and another mistake from Lee. That's 2. He won't be leading this anymore after that, I would suggest. That could have gone a lot worse than it did. He seems to have got away with it. So Alexander Landon leads this. That is Alexander running second on the road. Now, can Lee open up that gap again? Well, I think he can. Just needs a few hammer down laps. He will be rolling up onto the back of Martin Bayer pretty soon. Oh, that looks really fast. Great to see Lee going well. Had a chat with him earlier on, and he was telling me all about the benefits of running with Schumacher. He's quite happy to be working with the team closely. Perhaps it was something that wasn't as readily available to him previously. Now Landon still leads the heat. You can see here's Lee Martin. Alexander Landon just behind him, getting a bobble. Landon, the fluorescent yellow car with the orange wing. As they hit traffic. So 2 minutes to go. And just to remind you that this is the second from top heat, not the top heat. It's on next. But Lee will be wanting to get out of this heat for sure. And I thought he was going to break away from Alexander Landon, but at the moment it looks like Alexander's actually drawing up to the back of Lee. And as I say that, a bit of commentator's curse as Alexander gets a bad landing, as does Lee there. So well marshaled will go to Alexander. So how is he looking?
Perfect, thank you. Alexander, Lee, take go.
Lovely driving. So Pecco has now taken up second position. He's just ahead of Lee there.
45 seconds on the race clock, guys.
45 seconds to go.
Let's keep it up.
So Pecco and Lee are actually reeling in Alexander now. May not catch him by the end of the run, as Lee goes past Pecco. Now, that of course is not Pecco. I'm looking at the wrong car. We'll go back to Lee, or we'll go back to Alexander. Actually, here he is. Pecco further back. I will try and spot him. Now, here is Pecco. Oh, yeah. Very fast. Just across the line. He leads ahead of Landon. But it is close. Let's see how Pecco does. And Pecco takes it. So Pecco Ivanen, Alexander Landon, and Ben Smith taking third. So now for the top heat.
All right, hold on, cars, please. Do a little track repair.
So Michael Orlowski, Marcus Kurup, Bartek Selewski, Misha Widmeyer, Jorn Newman, Brock Chaplin, Clement Buda, Tommy Hall, Paul Crompton, Daniel Kobovic in the top heat. So they're going to do their warm-up laps.
Track is open, guys. Sebastian, wait, careful.
So this is Marcus Kurup, just doing his warm-up.
All right, let's go.
Big whip. Bit of showboating on their warm-up, get a feel for the car. And Brock Champlin, another big whip.
All right, cars in the starting area, please. Come on.
Who else? Oh, who was that? It was Tommy Hull. Another big whip. So we got 3 big whips in this run. Problem for Daniel Kobovic. He's asked for a bit of time. Something is up. He's back. What's he back with? Back with it. There's a loose wheel on Kobovic's car. Or it's the zipper's loose. Good skills. Look at that. Like he's done it 1,000 times before.
All right, starting grid 1, 2, 6, 9, 3, 5.
So Mike Orlovsky is the first away.
And 7. We got a mark.
Incredibly impressive in round 1. Looked like he was on his own. Let's see what he does this time.
2, 6, 9, 3, 5, 8, 10, 4, and 7. All right, here.
So lovely, smooth start from Michael.
Let's have a good fast heat.
Michael, of course, one of those racers who makes it look real easy. And he is over. And that, I would imagine, lets Kurup into the lead. Is that commentator's curse? Maybe it is. Should I just be quiet? Well, probably. So, a couple of bobbles from Kurup is allowing Orlowski pull back that lost ground. And I can tell you that the race order is Kurup, Orlowski, these two out ahead. Orlowski with the hammer down. Both of these cars look absolutely fantastic. Kurup leads the heat. Orlowski second, and you'd have to think now this track not really allowing for much overtaking. How is it going to work with these two? Orlowski just slightly out of range in case Karup has a bobble or something. Now he's in range. Is he going to let him through? Are they going to hold each other up? Is this going to play into Bartek Zalewski's hands? Because I can just tell you in the background, Bartek is only a couple of corners behind, and it's hard. Oh, well, very, very close there. Orlowski went for an inside line. Wasn't close enough. The speeds were too high. That could have ended with the two guys in the fence, and Karup is over. So that puts Orlowski back up to the lead of the heat. Where is Zalewski? There is Zalewski. And if I count, this is close. Zalewski may be leading. See now, it is Bartek Zalewski leads. Here is Bartek. So all that, and now Karup has a mistake, and Zalewski it gets caught up in it. That surely has allowed Orlowski the necessary breathing room. When we come around again, I'll be able to see the board and tell you, but I would say after Karup's mistake resulting in Zalewski losing concentration and also crashing, but this must have played into Orlowski's hands, and it is Orlowski, followed by Tommy Hall and Clement Boda. So we will stick with Michael Orlowski. Interesting that Orlowski had the early mistake, that Karup went through, and that he was very quickly able to close up that gap, telling me that Orlowski has some more in the tank. A bit like Champlin yesterday. Well, he's cruising now. Very hard to tell if the slightly safer approach is much slower. It still looks very, very smooth and fast. And I can tell you that Michael Orlowski still leads the heat, followed by Clement Boda and Brock Champlin. So Orlowski just touching the bot dot coming onto the straight. Car looks planted. His car looks good. A slight little bit of washout at full lock, meaning it's quite safe. Yeah, all looks good. The anti-roll bar certainly doing its job. You can see it's slightly springing back at full compression. So 10 seconds, and it's Orlowski, Boda, Zalewski. No sign of Marcus Karup making a comeback in this heat, although it's still the last lap. So we are out of time. They are finishing up. Should hear the buzzer at any moment, and then I will give you the result. But I can tell you it's Michael Orlowski that has taken this, and that means that it is 2 out of 2 for Michael Orlowski. Bartek Zalewski is second, Brock Champlin third, Boda fourth, Widmeyer fifth. So excellent for Michael Orlowski. He'd be very, very happy to have secured TQ for the A final and set the wrongs of two-wheel drive right. Come and join us in the morning. We'll be here from about 7:30 local time with some more content. Please, please, please like and share the video content. Very, very important that we try and get our website or our YouTube page as algorithm friendly as possible. So we need likes, we need comments. You can even leave your complaints and we'll work on those. But for Saturday, it's a wrap. See you tomorrow.